Hey everyone, we are live from Poinet, Wisconsin, where Aprilaire products are being built right behind us. We want to thank you for lending us some of your valuable time today to learn more about the products that we build. We are going to look at the Aprilaire dehumidifiers today and show you an unboxing of the unit, a basic setup and installation. So from start to finish, you're confident with the unit that you are using to solve moisture problems. Without further ado, let's get started. The very first thing that we have to do is unbox a dehumidifier. Couple of steps in doing this. We want to make sure that we're checking the labels, we've got the right unit, we get the straps off of the box, and we lift everything out. Let's take a look. Before we even unbox this, we want to point out two very important things, and they're on this label right here. The first one is the model number of the dehumidifier. This is going to allow you to know that you've got the right model and capacity dehumidifier for the job you're trying to do. And then additionally, we also have the serial number on the dehumidifier. We recommend that you take the time to register your dehumidifier right away for warranty purposes. The dehumidifier comes secured with 4 shipping straps. We got to take those off so that we can remove the top from the box. We recommend that you use the shipping handles in order to remove the top of the box. Put your hand in the entirety of the way to ensure that you grab the styrofoam piece that's on the inside as well. All you need to do is lift the top right off the base of the box. Now that we got the box off the dehumidifier, we want to make sure we have every component inside of that box to complete our installation. Let's show you what those are and where they go. First, you'll see this bright orange sheet, and this sheet shows you the important instructions for proper draining of the dehumidifier. Next, you'll notice that you have the installation manual. You will also have an application quick start guide, as well as a homeowner's manual. For components, you should have 2 duct collars in the box, your inlet collar, as well as an outlet collar. Notice the outlet collar has a built-in backflow damper. And finally, you will have a parts bag containing screws for securing the duct collars, a Torx bit to use, and a drain plug. All right, we've got the dehumidifier out, we've got all the parts. It's time to start putting the dehumidifier together. There's a couple of different ways this dehumidifier can be assembled based upon the needs of the installation. Let's look at them now. The first thing that you want to do when you begin to assemble your dehumidifier is remove the shipping bracket. To do this, simply take a pair of snips and snip off this zip tie. When you're removing the zip tie, every once in a while it can come sort of attached to the insulation on the inside. To do this without tearing, stick in a screwdriver and help use it to pry away the zip tie. Inside the parts bag, you should have received 9 screws, 1 Torx bit, and 1 drain plug. To remove the shipping bracket, we want to use the Torx bit. Now that we've removed our shipping bracket, it's time to decide where you want your discharge collar to be located. Taking your discharge collar, the one with the backdraft damper, you can decide whether or not you want the discharge air from the dehumidifier to come out of the side of the unit by placing the collar here, or out of the top of the unit by removing this top plate and placing the collar here, then relocating the top plate to the side of the unit. Now that our discharge collar is in place and our blanking plate is attached, it's time to attach the inlet collar using the 4 screws remaining from the parts bag and the collar from our dehumidifier box. The next thing you're going to want to do is decide where you want your control to be located. Now it comes out of the box default location on the top of the unit, which is ideal when your dehumidifier is lower or on the ground. Alternatively, you can move the control from the top of the unit to the side of the unit if you're hanging it from the ceiling or it's higher in the air, making it easier to see. We're going to show you how to do that right now. To do so, you're going to use a screwdriver with the standard Phillips head and remove this securing screw, which allows you to open up the filter access door. Next, you want to remove the air filter by simply sliding it off of its rails. Now, using our Torx bit, it's time to remove these 4 screws, which will allow us to remove our blanking plate. Reach inside your filter access door, and the plate will pop right off, and you can remove it right through the side. Now we're going to remove these 4 screws and move our control from the top of the unit to the side. You can reach right through the front, rotate the control down, secure it in place, making sure your hole's aligned. Use those same screws that you just removed and secure the control to the side. Now that your control is in place, we're going to have to reattach the blanking plate to the top. To do this, the first thing that you're going to have to do is disconnect the Molex plug that attaches to this control. It simply pops right out. Just remove it right from the top. Next, we're going to take our blanking plate, ensuring that the insulation side is down. We're going to slide it back through the filter access door and press it to the top. Making sure our screw holes all line up, we'll use the same 4 screws that we used to remove the plate. Now that our plate is in place, it's time to reattach the Molex plug. Just reach inside the filter access door and attach the plug to its connection. It's that simple. Now we're going to reinsert our air filter, lining it up with our rail assembly. Slides right in. Reattach our filter access door. Notice this little notch on the door. This goes in first. Pops right in, screw lines up, Phillips head screwdriver, close the filter access door, and we're done. It's time to install the drain assembly. Now, the first and most important step in installing the drain assembly with this dehumidifier is to ensure that the dehumidifier is level. Simply take a level, place it on the top of the unit, and make sure that the dehumidifier is not pitched to any angle, ensuring proper draining from the dehumidifier itself. If your dehumidifier is off level, there are pre-installed leveling feet on the bottom of the unit that simply screw up and down in order to give you the leveling that you need. Last piece in our parts bag is this drain assembly right here. Now, this is pre-threaded and simply screws into the dehumidifier. Taking the threaded end, simply place it to the drain pan on the dehumidifier and hand tighten it. You do not need any glue, and there is a backstop pre-installed in the drain to prevent over-tightening. Now, the natural slope of the drain pan provided with the drain plug will allow you to jettison water through a drain hose that simply slips over this barbed fitting. Once the entire assembly is in place and the drain hose is connected, make sure there is a natural gravity-fed slope from the dehumidifier to a drain or a condensate pump. Another way to drain the dehumidifier is by going with hard pipe. To do this, we recommend a 3/4 inch PVC slip fitting with a threaded end. Thread the slip fitting to the drain plug. Again, the natural backstop will prevent over tightening. Once the slip fitting is secure, you're going to want to put some PVC glue or adhesive inside of this slip fitting. Take a 3/4 inch hard pipe, insert the hard pipe to the drain, making sure it's secure, ensuring that it has a natural pitch so that gravity can feed the water out of the dehumidifier. All right, the dehumidifier is all assembled and it's ready to go. It's now time to turn it on and get the control set up. Step 1, ensure that you are plugging your dehumidifier into a properly sized circuit outlet. This will vary depending upon which dehumidifier model you have chosen. Next, you're going to want to flip this rocker switch from off to on. Now that you've got power to the dehumidifier, it's always best practice to do an installer test mode. To do this, with the unit powered but not turned on, press and hold the on-off and mode button for 3 seconds. Doing so will put the unit into installer test mode. It will do a 3-minute test and then it will go to 1 minute with the compressor on. If everything checks out, the unit will simply turn back off and you'll be ready to set the dehumidifier up for normal operation. Should you run into any diagnostic or error codes, simply remove this cap, and underneath the cap is both our 800 number and our error codes. First step is to call this 800 number, speak to one of our technical support representatives, and they will walk you through the diagnosis of the dehumidifier and get you back up and running. Now that test mode has been completed, it's time to turn on and set the dehumidifier. Simply hit the on-off button. You'll notice that a percentage of relative humidity shows up on the screen. Using the up and down arrows, you will move the percentage of relative humidity to the desired set point. After your set point has been put in place, your dehumidifier will function as needed in order to achieve that level of relative humidity, and you're all set. There you have it, everyone. It really is that simple to get a dehumidifier out of the box and into somebody's home. We're really excited that you took the time to listen to us. Thank you so very much. Now, if you have additional questions, I want you to call 1-800-334-6011. That's the Aprilaire line that's going to get you all the answers that you need. You can also visit us at the contractor-only website, www.aprilairepartners.com, for additional information. Best to you all, take care, and thank you.